Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bells. Every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So let's talk about Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry came out, well, his documentary came out a couple of days ago, I guess. Or what? Yeah, yesterday. And one of the quotes, I guess he stated, I haven't seen the documentary. I do plan on watching it. Now, disclaimer, I am not really a Tyler Perry fan. Now, I watched the first couple of his movies. Now, I remember back when he was doing like the plays. I don't think I went to see the plays, but I know people who went and seen them. And they come back and say, oh man, it was fun. That Mud is funny. Then next thing you know, the dude got movies. The dude got television shows. I mean, he's just all over the place. But I do remember seeing like, what was the movie with Idris Elba playing the dad? You know, I saw that movie, and then I think I saw another movie where what's the dude, Shamar Moore, you know, had those fake braids, and he was courting the young lady, whatever, and just then the third. That's the same movie where the brother like dissed his wife, went and got another woman, damn near dying. The woman brought him back to her house, and he almost died in the tub, and she like pulled the plug out, and he lived. Whatever. There might have been 2 or 3 movies, but those were about the only ones I saw. But I never really saw a Madea movie because I just didn't like the character. You understand what I'm saying? I know a lot of people like it. I know, I mean, it was funny, but I mean, to me, it really wasn't so much as a man wearing a dress, acting like a woman. I mean, shoot, it is what it is, you know. But it's more of just it was just corny to me. You understand what I'm saying? So I mean, so I'm not knocking the brother. I mean, the brother got the success. It's just great. But I mean, like I say, just the whole Madea character and some of the stereotypical things I just, you know, wasn't good. But I know he has messages. I mean, sure, you watch his show, like his TV shows sometime. Like, man, how do come up with all these dang TV shows and write all these scripts? But then you realize that the TV show is written like the plays. So it's almost like it's mainly ad lib for the most part. But it works. It works for his audience, and it works for him because the brother done made some money. But anyway, back to the story. He said, and this is off of the MSN.com by way of the Messenger, and it says, Tyler Perry says, quote, most difficult part of his success wasn't battling Hollywood. It was black people. Now, when you first see it, I'm sure some people getting kind of got a hair up their butt hurt, you know, with a hair up their butt, saying, I can't believe he said this. But read the article, kind of try to understand what he was saying. I get it. So let's get into it. It said Tyler Perry says, I already said that most difficult part of success wasn't battling Hollywood, it was black people. In the new Prime Video documentary, Maxine's Baby, the Tyler Perry story, the multi-hyphenated response to backlash he received from corners of the black community. Like I say, I do plan on watching. I may watch it tomorrow or sometime this weekend or what have you. Tyler Perry's incredible journey from childhood abuse to poverty to billionaire entertainment mogul is brought to life by those closest to him in the new documentary, Maxine's Baby, the Tyler Perry story. Out Friday on Prime Video, the glowing 2-hour profile is co-directed by Armani Ortiz and Jalila Beckel, the latter whom shares a son with Perry, and features interviews with multi-hyphenated families, with the multi-hyphenated family, friends, agent, and industry peers, including Whoopi Goldberg, Kenya Barris, and longtime champion Oprah Winfrey. Perry himself also contributed creatively to the project. While the documentary functions mostly as a celebration of Tyler Perry's talent and remarkable self-made success in an often hostile industry, Maxine's Baby doesn't totally shy away from the criticism Perry has received, not only from Hollywood, but also from corners of the black community. The latter stung the most, which I can understand. Quote, I think the most difficult part in all of the success wasn't battling Hollywood, it was battling black people, Perry said in the doc. There's a certain class of black people who look down on all things Tyler Perry. Here's what I say about that. like I said before, not like I said a real Tyler Perry fan, but I don't hate the dude. I respect the dude, respect what he did, respect what he does, and I'm all for it. Because when I look at the other end of the spectrum, the dude could be doing, rap music with, talk about gang banging, drug dealing, disrespecting women, disrespecting brothers, shooting, killing with money phones, and rapping about promiscuity, just any and everybody, just degrading the whole neighborhood. He could be doing that, but no, he got a genre that he knew that would appeal to church folk, to black church folk from the South. That's the main thing. I think some of these people who talk bad about him in public, they ain't from down here. Like I said, when I made it a point, like I said, not to watch any of his movies, it was a private matter. I ain't go out and just tell everybody I'm saying something now. But like I said, it was just, hey, I just didn't like his form of entertainment for the most part. But like I said, I still watch shows. I might even go back and watch, what's it called? Baby Daddy or something like that. I don't know. Baby Mama, something like that. But I may, like, it come on TV, I might sit there and watch it. But anyway, I think a lot of people who don't like what he do just don't understand what he's trying to do. But then too, I think people get mad because he brought a hidden element to the forefront. And I think that is a problem in our community. Because a lot of things that go on now, granted, there are some jokes, there are some stories, there are some things that you don't say in public, right? For other genres to hear. But then I say this. If I feel, tell me if I'm wrong, if you are in control of your own life, you are in control, like, of your finance, per se, I don't think what Tyler Perry does, and when I say you, I mean us as a whole, as a community, not individual, I don't think what Tyler Perry does would bother us. Because I think the biggest problem is that we still trying not to embarrass Big Mama in front of white folk. I think that's the issue. And so when you see somebody, let me keep reading so you can kind of really understand where I'm coming from, the context of where I'm coming from. It says that class has included scholars like Donald Bogle, journalists like Jamila Lemieux, and industry colleagues like Spike Lee, who famously decried Perry's work as coonery buffoonery. In an open letter to National Public Radio, or the NPR, and Lemieux said Perry's work has been marked by old stereotypes of buffoonish, emasculated black men and crass and sassy black women. I mean, yeah, there are stereotypes in all of his stuff. Of Perry's famous Medea character, who helped form the foundation of his success, she added, "Through her, the country has laughed at one of the most important members of the black community, Mother Dear, the beloved matriarch. Our mothers and grandmothers deserve much more than that." I understand what she's saying, but the thing about it is, black community is not a monolith. You know it, I know it. Everybody is not going to feel and do the same thing as everyone else. Because, let's just be honest, like Big Mama, right? Big Mama's House with Martin, when he played the cop, but then act like, the older black lady. There wasn't a whole lot of outcry on that movie at all. But it was more of an outcry when a brother did it himself. Not when white folks were probably writing, directing, casting the film, had played major parts in the creation of the film. It was a problem when a brother did it himself and put it out there. That is an issue. And that is issue. Again, I don't think it would have been a problem if we as a community own their own stuff, control their own communities. Stores, banks, schools, hotels, movie theaters, everything. Everything the other communities got in their other groups got in their communities. If we could have a communities like that, Tyler Perry can do all the damn movies he wants to, and wouldn't nobody say a word, because we wouldn't care what other people thought, because we're doing our own thing. But because what we care, but the reason why we care what other people think is because them other people control our pocketbooks. We work for them for the most part. They're our supervisors. They own the companies that most of us work for. They write our checks. They give us our pensions. Back in the day, they were how a lot of us got houses. They had to write off and sign a letter saying that you are one of the good ones. That mentality is still there. So until we start controlling our own thing as a group, as a collective, not individual, stuff like this will always be a problem, but it really shouldn't be a problem. It said Lee's incendiary comments are replayed in the documentary, along with the other critical voices like award-winning author Carl Hancock Rue, who's interviewed in the film. I don't think that Tyler Perry entered the creative marketplace to save the black community, says the acclaimed poet, and if he did, I think he would have actually come fully on, which he did not. Perry's response to the backlash before, including telling Lee to go to hell, but he reflects more deeply on the criticism of the documentary. When I started to look at the history of what we've done to each other as black people, others who are successful, it's pretty interesting to see, he said. Now listen to these quotes here. Amos and Andy was the first African Americans on television, and it was the NAACP who boycotted it. The first television boycott ever. Excuse me. So the show was yanked off the air in 1953, and there was not another black cast on television until the late 1960s. Now let's talk about Amos and Andy. Number one, you know what the problem with that show was? Besides the stereotypes that was played by two brothers who was pretty intelligent and actually made a lot of money, and from what I hear, managed their money pretty well. It was created by them folk. That's what the problem was. The NAACP, ran by black people and Jewish people, whatever. They boycotted it because of the stereotype, because you had white folk writing scripts and putting TV shows out depicting black people like this. That's why it was boycotted. Just like Good Times. You remember Good Times was a show that we all liked, but then James Evans died. Florida Evans left with, did she leave with Carl, I think, and went to Florida or something like that? Or I don't know where she went. But anyway, she left, but then came back. Why did they leave the show? Because you got the stereotype, the JJ character did not grow. And so they left because it was buffoonery. And again, it was white people who were writing the jokes and were producing the show. Now the characters, I believe, were created by a brother. I can't think of his name, but he gets no credit for it. But yet, like I say, these cats, the mother folk, got all the credit, got all the money, and all the accolades by making the main character JJ, who was, like I say, stereotypically buffoonish. So that's why, like I say, Amos and Andy really got boycotted. Again, if it was black owned, black ran TV, geared toward black people and marketed in the black neighborhood, and black folks probably only really the ones who was watching it, it probably wouldn't have been a problem, like seriously. But then again, Amos and Andy probably wouldn't have been created because I don't think we would have made characters like that. Perry also pointed to the NAACP's boycott of the 1985 film The Color Purple, based on a Pulitzer Prize winning novel by Alice Walker. The movie was nominated for 11 Academy Awards. They were picketing outside the Oscars. Again, book is one thing. Doing a movie where Spielberg and his crew is creating it, they are the ones who are depicting it, in control of the costumes, the characters, the dialogue. They got final say of everything. That's what the real problem is. You put the color purple in a play, in a chitlin circuit play. I don't think it's no problem, but it's about who controls that film, who controls it. That's where the problem is. He had Langston Hughes called Zora Neale Hurston a new version of the darky because she spoke from a southern dialect and she wrote in that dialect. So I learned very early on that it's okay. This is how it goes. No matter how well or how good your intentions is, no matter how many people it freely lives out of despair and sadness, it only matters to certain critics if it is what they deem to be art. Defending Perry's work, rapper Killer Mike argues the audience is there. He paid attention to an audience that people ignored and were saying, come up to us. And he said, no, I'm down here with you. We're going to laugh at the things that we laugh about amongst family gatherings. We're going to make public the things that we think of as joking. Right. Like I said, the problem is too, we don't like to put our stuff out there in front of them folk, other people. We can laugh and joke, say certain words amongst each other, but we don't do that in front of them. Here's something, it's kind of like not cursing in front of your parents. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to know if it's like a respect thing. So it ain't on the same level. It's just that you don't want them folk to think lowly of you, or keep things stereotypes so they can treat you less than. You want them to understand that, hey, I'm a man, I'm a woman. Don't take me lightly. You know what I'm saying? Don't misread it. Don't take my kindness and my joking and laughing. You know what I'm saying? Don't take that for weakness, because I will get with you in a second. That's basically what it is. You just want them to say, hey, treat us like human beings. As clips play of white actors like John Travolta performing in drag and Hairspray, the rapper adds, when you look at white comedy, they're allowed to do the most ridiculous things, and they never have to wear the burden of, you're making all Irish people look bad, you're making all Scottish people look bad. But I do remember when they said, like, when The Godfather came out, that made like Italian people look bad, because they say not all Italians are in the mob. But see, stuff like that don't make sense, because although Don Corleone and his family and the 5 families are in the mob, you see whole neighborhoods full of people who ain't got nothing to do with it. So why is it this main character, you acting like that every character in that movie was in the mafia? Don't make sense. So it's like when you see shows where, you can't say videos, because videos, everybody in there being ratchet, but I mean movies where you may have drug dealers or pimps or something like that, or even drug users. Those may be the few characters, that's the main characters, but you can't see the forest for the trees, that there's a whole lot of other people in them neighborhoods who are law-abiding citizens going about their day by day routines. Ain't even trying to do nothing illegal. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, Mel Brooks didn't worry about making his culture look bad. He worried about being funny. And if it used anecdotal things that he had ownership or control over, it was permitted. And Mr. Perry has done the same thing. He was a genius in doing so. It's definitely more hurtful when it comes from your own community, at Tyler Perry Studios VP Andy Norman. But his own community at the same time is the one who has got him to where he is now. So it's not the whole community, exactly. It's a few, it's a few people, but we love those people too. Here's my thing. You can't beat them, join them. You see a brother, this is why you got a monolith of music played on the radio when it comes to the rap genre. Because we have allowed people to dictate what we can or what we should and what we shouldn't listen to, or what should and shouldn't be played on the radio. At a time back in the day when we had your gangster rap, you had your happy rap, had your party rap, you had your Too Short rap, Luke rap, you had your conscious rap, you had all those genres put together, your ladies love rap. You had all that, your God love rap. You had all that back in the day. But somehow all that was pushed to the back and this ratchet stuff came up and it's taken over, and there's like, it's almost like there's no other form of music. Shout out to Big Mike, just bought your album. I mean, it just came, so I haven't listened to it yet, but I heard, you know, it's nominated for an award. I heard it's a great album, kind of like the old school stuff that needs to be promoted. So I'm gonna jam this when I get out of here tonight, when I get out of here. But anyway, I say Big Mike, Killer Mike. Okay, so that's just that. So we done allowed them to make it to where we create one type of music that's promoted. If we're not careful, they'll do the same thing with our movies. You won't have Tyler Perry. You won't have Denzel in the roles that he played. What you'll have is what you got on Tubi, where pretty much, and I watch some Tubi movies. I try to click through it and try to find some stuff to where it's to the point where all I watch is old stuff. Probably Bernie Mac's probably new, and Everybody Hates Chris is probably the newest TV shows I would watch on TV, really. Not watching no crime documentary stuff. That's all it is right now. Out real right now. If you actually look at TV and scroll through, the only thing that's on, I like to say, are like those Real Housewives of Acting Fools. Your crime documentaries, your crime shows, First 48, you know, murdering neighbors, hate my neighbors, hate my wives and husbands, killer couples, you know, 2020, 48 hours, prime time, stuff like that. But I would like to say murder mysteries. And you have, but in the black stuff that's created by black folks, the main thing you see in black created movies on Tubi are somebody's most people drug dealing, kingpins, yeah, or hustling, scamming folk, and having a lot of gratuitous sex. That's it. Drug dealing, killing, and just like the rap music, pretty much everything down the line with Instagram models. You know what I'm saying? Like after a while, that stuff gets old. Especially if you got a woman, that stuff should get old. But anyway, so like I said, if you mess around, you won't have, like I said, the Tyler Perry movies. You won't have, like I say, different types, what's Eddie Murphy type of comedy movies. You won't have Wesley Snipes or Michael Jai White or stuff like that. You're gonna have stereotypical show, but I don't hear Spike Lee or these other people, NAACP, boycotting Tubi, or publicly Al Sharpton, or publicly saying, hey, y'all mind trying, changing up the topics a little bit. Y'all are the movie creators, y'all are writers, y'all are directors, y'all are the actors. Great. Would you mind kind of switching it up and doing stuff more positive? You can have a small element of real life, little drug use here, a little infidelity, maybe some crime here and there. But for the most part, something more positive, Cosby Show, Family Matters, comedies like that back in the day, Living Single. Could you do stuff like that? I don't hear nobody saying things like that, but I'm saying it right now because I grew up in a time where people had original thought. It wasn't the cell phones that you're looking at. It wasn't all these movie reboots or somebody making 12 different movies about car racing. No, people had different thoughts, and then, may take a couple years to make movies because they're trying to come up with a concept. So when Martin Scorsese come out with a movie, people were excited because they knew he was a great director, a great film producer, whatever, and come out every few years. Now, not saying I get his movies. I'm just saying back in the day, somebody put something out in, let's say 1980, but then next thing you know, you might not see them put something out again until like 1985, 86. And everybody get excited. So, oh man, he's coming out with another movie. Can't wait to see it. But these people put out stuff every freaking week. And after a while, you get tired of it. You know, so that's why I'm not really a binge watcher on stuff. I watch some stuff, watch a few episodes, and then boom, I'm done. And then I'll come back later and maybe watch a few more episodes, and then boom, I'm done. I think I got burned out. I think watching Blackish, doing that. I'm like, I stopped watching Blackish after the little baby was born and disappeared. That was it. So I don't know what happened after that. Ain't watched Grownish, ain't watched Colleges, ain't watched whatever the show, whatever the other spinoffs. Just didn't. And Blackish was cool, but after a while, stuff gets old. But anyway, enough of that. Hey, Tyler Perry, you keep doing what you're doing. You got your audience. Man, I'm about to get like a lozenge, a cough drop, or something going on around here. But keep doing what you're doing. I mean, you ain't hurting nobody. I mean, forget a stereotype. If people are tired of stereotypes, forget it. My thing is, if you are hurt by stereotypes and you feel like, what do you call it, embarrassed by them, then it's like you really embarrassed by your family, some of your family members anyway. So you basically telling on yourself. So if I was y'all, I would just be quiet. And if you don't like what he's doing, then Spike Lee, you got the money, you got the clout, you got the notoriety, you got the connection. You can make anything you want to offset what Tyler Perry's doing. Anybody out there in the public eye, y'all can do anything y'all want. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to, like I say, to counteract what Tyler Perry is putting out. It's as simple as that. So we can like help create and keep that balance. He keep putting stuff out, and maybe you need to keep putting stuff out and let that man be. That's how the world works. You don't tell nobody how to do what he's supposed to do. If you got a problem with it, you do it yourself. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I leave you in peace. And I'll see you on the other side.